Bring in former Ford CEO Mark Fields. Mark, great to see you as always. Thanks for joining us. The fact that this partnership wasn't pulled in total, can that be seen as a slim victory given the turmoil that Nikola has faced and the headlines that they faced in the last couple of months?
Well, I guess there's that old saying, you make lemonade out of lemons. And in this case, I mean, Nikola, if you think back to when they announced the first announcement of this back in September, they called it a strategic partnership. And they said, amongst other things that they were getting, including the technology, the scale, the engineering and manufacturing expertise from GM, they also said they also get investor confidence and, importantly, a big blue chip company that has a vested interest in Nikola's success. And when you look at this agreement, this is just a run-of-the-mill supply agreement where they basically have to pay up front for the capital investment to put the capacity in place. And, so from that standpoint, this is going to make it harder for Nikola because it's going to put pressure on that cash burn. And I think what's missing a lot in the discussion, Wilfred, is at the end of the day, these Class 8 and Class 7 trucks is the talk about the customers. And for these customers that buys these kind of products, they want a high quality vehicle that's going to be durable, that's proven, and is going to be easy to refuel. And they still have to build out a hydrogen fueling a system with a partner. And they have to prove that these vehicles, forget about just getting to production, that they can actually hold up and deliver the goods.
What Mark, does this all mean for GM? Have they lost a lot of face on this, or have they kind of saved the day by not having to commit the capital that perhaps people thought they would in the first place?
Well, from a purely business standpoint, this doesn't impact them. As a matter of fact, I think with this agreement, it not only protects them financially, but reputationally going forward. Because keep in mind, when they announced this new agreement yesterday or the day before, this is non-binding. So they still have to negotiate the final commercial agreement here. And of course, in the interim, you have an SEC investigation and DOJ investigation going on. So it gives them an off-ramp. I do think from a reputational standpoint, this is a black eye for them. I mean, they touted this as a strategic partnership. Mary Barra was quoted as saying, Nikola is an industry disruptor. And now you read the latest announcement, she's not even quoted, and it's just about working together. So I think there's a lot of lessons learned here for GM and others around doing appropriate due diligence before you want to get in bed with an industry disruptor.
What about for investors in general and doing appropriate due diligence? Any warning signs around the SPAC craze? Every single day there's a new SPAC. It's the hottest gold rush on Wall Street. Does this raise some red flags?
Yeah, I think when you have taxi cab drivers and others, and even my mother start talking about SPACs, that's a bit of a bubble. But I do think there's a couple of lessons learned here. First, I think the lesson learned is investors have to be very wary of investing in a company that basically is pre-revenue and has a business plan and a prototype, versus investing in a company that's being acquired by a SPAC that actually has produced revenue and a product or service that people want and value. I think, secondly, investors should look at the vintage of the SPAC. As you know, SPACs are only good for 24 months, and at the end of that time period, they have to give their money back to investors. And if the SPAC that's bringing the company to market is on the back end of the last few months, well, you could argue they're running against the clock, and, maybe they might not do the appropriate or full governance on the technology, the product, or the service. And I think, finally, it's really important for SPAC investors to look at the boards of those SPACs. If you have a SPAC that's filled with, let's say, a bunch of technology marquee names that is investing in a technology company, there's a lot of domain knowledge there. But if your SPAC just has a few marquee names of industries that are not directly related to the investment they're making, that's a bit of a red flag.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.